Hello and welcome back to another Tech Articles. Today's video is something a little different. It's come up a few times recently and I've given relatively good written instructions on how to do it. But there's a bit of nervousness within the WordPress community and backups. And in most cases, when a WordPress host gives you a backup of your site, it will be in a zip, and in that zip will contain your files and your SQL file for your database. And it's the same with direct admin cPanel installations for a whole host of hosting providers who use either direct admin or cPanel. And while those can be imported back into another cPanel or direct admin site, or even manually installed into VPS, etc., one thing that keeps coming up is can we get those into local? And actually, it's really simple to get those sort of backups into local. And most of those hosts use this software, and it's an auto installer. It installs all sorts, not just WordPress, but this is what it uses, and this has a nice little backup manager in it that I'm going to use. I'm going to show you how to use. I'm going to use it. I'm then going to download it, and then I'm going to unzip it because it comes as a tar. And I'm going to show you two ways of doing that. One using WinRAR, one using 7-zip. They're two free, quite popular zipping programs. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to import one of the then zip files that we get straight into local, create a new site with it, and hopefully it'll log straight in, and that's it. Our site will be in local. So in this example, I'm using a direct admin panel. It doesn't really matter. It's the same, and I'm now inside the software. You can see there is a backup already here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the WordPress manager, and I'm going to create another backup now, which is done by down here. It'll ask me some options. I don't need to do anything with that, so I'm just going to put backup installation, and it will run the backup for me. And all it's basically doing is zipping up or compressing the files and delodging the SQL file to put it into that folder, and that's it. It's done. We now have a backup, and if I go to backups here, we now have two, and one is from now. So I've already downloaded that first backup to my local drive, and you should be able to see that on the screen now. And as you can see, it's here. It's the same file name as what we have here. So I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to go to my context menu, and I'm going to extract this to this folder with WinRAR. And the reason I prefer to use WinRAR here is because it's a single step. The times that I've used 7-zip, and I am not a big 7-zip user, I literally only use it for 7-zip files. There are a few of them that I do get occasionally. But if I do it with 7-zip now, you'll see what I mean. So if I extract it to here, you will see there's a difference. So with a 7-zip, it's extract the gzip to a tar, it was a gzip tarred, and then to get this to files, I have to do it again. So I have to extract it to the item, and you'll see this is just extracting those files for me now. And that's it, it's done. And then we have our files, and inside our files we have all of our normal WordPress files and our SQL file. And it's vital that SQL file is here and in this directory, because we're going to rezip back this back up. So I'm going to go back to my primary. I'm going to delete this tar file from 7-zip, and I'm going to go back to the one I used with WinRAR. And we'll see we've got our files here. Again, we have the SQL file here, which is really important. You must have an SQL file within your zip file. If you don't, it will not work. So I'm just going to create a new archive. I'm going to call it a zip, and I'm just going to call it backup. And that is it. My files are now zipping up. They are compressing into a zip archive, and from that I should be able to restore that zip archive using local to do so. So I'm going to open local. I'm going to try and get this all on screen at the same time for you. I'm going to push for a new site. I'm going to see where it says select an existing zip. I'm going to grab my zip file. I'm going to drop this into import. I'm going to call it backup. I'm going to leave it with preferred. And now it should extract our new zip file into local, and it will take a minute. It's not a very large site. It is a basic WordPress installation installed and with some plugins purely for this example. And it will continue to extract. I will pause the video now for a little bit until that's finished. It won't take long. Okay, that's now extracted and it's starting to build the site. I haven't had a notification yet, and there is my notification to say it wants to add a item to the site path and to my. It's changing the site domain. And that's it. Our site has been created. We now have a local version of that website on our local installation. So I'm going to turn on one-click admin, select this one here. I'm going to open the site. I'll tell you what I'll do first. I will trust this SSL certificate. I'll give it a second. And I will log in off screen. And then I will drag this back into view. Thinking about it. I'm going to drag this over now. It's logging in. And that's it. Our site from the online is now here, available for us to use. And in 5 or 6 minutes, we've managed to get our backup from our web host and extract it on our local machine. And it would work exactly the same on the Mac. And you can do this by the command line interface, the WordPress CLI. But it's broken currently with local on Windows. I've tried many different variations, but there's something wrong with it. It doesn't seem to accept SQL commands properly, and I didn't want to complicate matters because you should be able to use the CLI that comes with local to be able to do this, and I didn't want to complicate it by running a load of SQL commands and showing you how to do it that way. When this works, put all your files in a zip file, and it doesn't have to be from a direct admin panel like that. It could be from any backup program that runs a full program and doesn't use a proprietary format. As long as you can get that down to files and an SQL file, put them all together, and local should be able to import it, and it really is that quick. So yeah, that is it. We've just taken what was a fully online site down to our local computer. We've extracted it. We've created a zip file out of that tar file and that gzip tar, and we've turned it back into a zip, and we've imported that in less than 5 or 6 minutes into local on our local computer, ready to do whatever we want. There are these general items that you want to see, and as I see them, I will try and record a video for them. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more tech stroke WordPress videos. And yeah, if you have a suggestion for a video, if there's something you can't quite fix and you'd like to see a video on, yeah, please let me know. Thank you very much.